Hey, what's up everyone? Johnny the Geek here, and this is a review on the Zhiyun Crane 2 camera stabilizer. Be sure to check out the unboxing video I did to see what you get with this $750 kit. Link to it, of course, is going to be down in the description below. Taking a look at the physical parts of the Crane 2, there are of course 3 motors because it's a 3-axis stabilizer that stabilizes the pan, tilt, and roll of the camera. The build quality is a durable matte finished aluminum, and all of the slider adjustments have a ruler guide on them so that you can write them down all of your balance settings, making it easier to set up when you unpack it. The knobs and the arm sliders are easy to move for fine-tuning adjustments when balancing the camera. There's a small LCD screen showing you the battery life, what mode you're in, and if you have a camera connected, what your aperture is, ISO, and shutter speed. Do note that not all cameras have the same level of control and information displayed with the Crane 2. The manual has all of the options that the Crane can control on the 3 top manufacturers, Canon, Panasonic, and Sony cameras. Looking at the buttons and ports, there's a micro USB port on one of the motors for camera control, another micro USB port for communications with the computers to make adjustments, calibrating, and firmware upgrades. This is where you can fine-tune everything to work how you want it to. If you want to see a video on how to do that, there's a link in the description by another YouTuber that explains how to do this very well. There's a power output port that allows you to plug a barrel type power to whatever adapter your camera supports for infinite power or charge while in use. It basically turns the stabilizer into an external battery for your camera. And this is a feature that I don't exactly use because I have batteries in the camera as well as batteries in the stabilizer, so I don't really need that feature. An important thing I want to note is that none of these USB ports or power output ports can be used to charge the batteries in the stabilizer. You have to remove the batteries and charge them in the included battery charger, or whatever charger you get to charge these standard 18650 size batteries. Speaking of the battery charger, it has 2 micro USB ports. You only need to use one for charging the batteries, and if you use the other port at the same time, you can double the charging speed. It comes with 1 micro USB cable, but does not come with a wall plug. You can use the same type of wall plug for cell phones, but it's important to note that you need to use a power adapter that outputs at least 5 volts at 1 amp. Anything lower might not work. So I would recommend actually a 5 volt 2 amp, or even if you got a 5 volt 3 amp, that's even better. And using both USB ports, you're gonna charge your batteries twice as fast. There is a camera plate with a special support bracket for long lenses. It is removable, or you can lower it to get it out of the way. The focus wheel gives you the ability to rack focus a lens that has autofocus on it. One of the major caveats is that right now, this feature only works with certain Canon cameras. This is not a limitation of the stabilizer, it's a limitation of all the other camera manufacturers supporting electronic focusing via their USB connection. So Canon is the only one here that supports focusing control over the USB ports. Therefore, certain Canon cameras are the only ones that can use this focus wheel. Now, zhiyun-tech does make another device, a mechanical focusing device that will actually attach to your lens, and you can use the focus wheel with this other physical mechanical device wirelessly from the focus wheel to the lens, and you can pretty much essentially autofocus or rack focus using the wheel here any type of camera or camera lens. It's not going to be controlled by the actual, the stabilizer isn't going to control the camera itself. It's the stabilizer controlling a separate mechanical device. Although it's very easy and quick to do all of the run and gun balancing with just the roll and tilt axis, I'm going to show you how to do the full setup, including the pan axis balance. A proper balance will ensure the best motor function and longer battery life. Speaking of battery life, it's rated to run for 18 hours of use. Although realistically, you can expect at least 16 hours of use, and maybe half that if you have it balanced poorly and left it on a while not in use. So far, during this entire time I've used it for the review, I'm still running on the first initial full charge. That's pretty amazing. I definitely recommend using the Crane 2 or any stabilizer with a camera that has an in-body 5-axis sensor stabilization built in. For example, the Sony a6500, the A7 IIs or 3s, the Panasonic GH5, or the Panasonic GX85 like I have here. The combination of the 5-axis sensor stabilizer and the Crane 2 almost completely eliminates the vertical bobbing you get when walking with it, depending on how much you're hopping in your stride, of course. You should always have a good technique regardless, whatever stabilizer you use, whatever camera you're using. There are various modes the stabilizer has, and I think it has just about every option you could want. So the pan follow mode makes the camera move left and right following the movement of the stabilizer, while the tilt and roll axis is locked. Tilt control is the only thing you can do on the joystick while in this mode. Locking mode doesn't let the camera move around on the stabilizer, but you can move the pan and tilt axis using the joystick. Follow mode allows panning and tilting following the stabilizer. Moving the joystick left and right in this mode will roll the camera. There was a recent update that added the POV or point of view mode. This modes follow every axis of the stabilizer: pan, tilt, and roll. This is probably the most versatile, but also the most technique you have to master. The stabilizer is capable of holding up to 7 pounds and a minimum of 1.1 pound. If your camera is too light, the stabilizer will start vibrating or shaking, so you have to add weight to the bottom of it. Fortunately, Zhiyun-tech does also sell a counterbalance weight that you add to the bottom of the plate here. You also need to adjust the motor force depending on the load capacity. The manual provides a general guide on what setting you should use depending on the loadout of your gear. This is an important setting because if it's set too low or too high for your load, you will experience camera shake or vibration. The follow focus wheel is very useful when you're moving around an object with a shallow depth of field. Or if you're doing some type of dolly track shot and you want to maintain focus. The main caveat, as I said earlier, right now is that it only works on certain Canon cameras. This is not a limitation of the Crane 2, but a limitation of all other camera manufacturers because they don't allow controlling of the camera focus by the data ports on the camera. So if you're using a Canon camera, then great. I recommend running Magic Lantern to get the focus peaking feature on the LCD screen, or find a Canon camera that has that feature built into it. So to conclude this video, I want to talk about what this Crane is best suited for me and the content I make or plan to make. I'm going to primarily use it as a replacement for a slider when I'm doing product shots. Now, what I plan on using this Crane for in the near future is for friends' weddings and making some type of one of those cosplayer videos. Just like this one from my friends at a channel called the LA Explorer. He was also using a Zhiyun Crane for this video. Check out the sweet videos over on his channel in the link down below. One of the last things you have to consider before getting this Crane or any Crane is that even though these have a lot of cool features and it's so easy to set up and go, you'll still need to practice your techniques and timing for controlling the stabilizer and getting the best looking shots for your project, right? I don't see a reason why this would produce high quality stabilized shots for you. If you get it and you're having terrible shots, well, don't so much as blame all of the Crane here. Blame your technique and lack of cat-like ninja movements that you gotta do, even with a Crane as powerful as this one. So that's it for the review. It was a lot of information, and I hope to be talking more about the gear I use. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.